Welcome to Kitchen Table Sales Mastery. My name is Monty Rose, and I want to help you master the art and science of face-to-face selling. My sales methodology has been field tested and validated both personally and among the sales teams that I've led at MetLife and Financial Freedom. I deconstructed, synthesized, and systematized my experience to become a more effective communicator and influencer at the kitchen table. During the next few minutes, I will outline the value of kitchen table sales mastery and give you an opportunity to leverage my 10,000 hours in order to radically improve your sales performance. What's the connection between a ballerina samurai and face-to-face selling? Well, the answer to this question lies at the heart of what sales mastery is all about. I'll get back to this photo in just a few minutes. Malcolm Gladwell, in his bestseller Outliers, suggests that it took the Beatles, Bill Gates, and Mozart 10,000 hours to become world-class in their specialty. All talented artists who paid their dues in practice and experience. How many kitchen table hours does a typical salesperson have? 100? 1,000? Few have 10,000. If you aren't satisfied with your sales results, perhaps you simply don't have enough time at the table. Before I show you what this program is about, let me tell you what it's not. Face-to-face sales success is not about having a positive mental attitude or the motivation to walk over burning coals. It's about understanding how to elicit the desired behavioral change in the salesperson's skill set. It's about creating a repeatable process that makes a sales presentation more compelling. It's about going through a well-thought-out and tested sequence of techniques applied in real time in front of the customer. And finally, it's also about understanding the right way of practicing and applying the underlying principles of sales mastery. When you do all these under the guidance of an experienced mentor, you'll be able to shortcut the 10,000-hour hurdle. Well, what derails the kitchen table conversation? You have to connect with the customer, skillfully calibrate your conversation to their needs and wants, and seek a collaborative approach toward solving their problem. After 30 years of selling at the kitchen table, I've observed and studied more than 1,000 salespersons. Some salespersons are naturally gregarious, empathetic, and spontaneously likable. They immediately bond or engage with the prospect. The rest of us are simply DNA deficient. We're not wired that way. Out of my own struggle, experience, and eventually study of positive psychology and neuroscience, I was able to create a system that enabled me to engage and connect more effectively with the prospect. People buy from people they like, but likability can be learned. The second major problem of those who struggle at the kitchen table is their failure to calibrate. What I mean by that is they're simply a 411 information fire hose. They spout features and benefits but never really hear the prospect and thus can never tailor their suggested solutions to the prospect's real need. They have to learn yet the art of deep listening. Lastly, salespersons attempt to close before building a solution partnership through collaboration. If the sales conversation is properly guided, an atmosphere of trust prevails. So together, you can determine and agree upon the best course of action. That's why I call this kitchen table process the triangle of trust. Any failure in each of these areas derails the sales conversation. So how can we transform your face-to-face presentation into a conversation of ethical influence? We do this with a systematic trust-building curriculum. It has 3 modules. The first module focuses on the tactics of customer engagement. The second on how to fine-tune your observation and inquiry skills. And finally, we learn how to create solution partnerships, which is the most frictionless way to close a sale. So let me ask the what's in it for me question for you. Remember the 80-20 rule? It's typically interpreted 20% of the sales force produces 80% of the business. This sales training program has the following benefits. You will become better at selling. It will instill correct habits that are repeatable processes that will build over time a depth of your sales practice that it will be unparalleled. But most importantly, it'll create measurable sales lift, whether you're a top producer, middle producer, or you're struggling. What would it be worth to you or your organization if the bottom 80% would find sales traction faster? Even if the productivity lift is modest, What would one or two more sales mean in terms of dollars in your pocket? Well, how do we deliver this package? It has two primary components. The first is 52 immediately actionable kitchen table tactics that you can apply in real time. These are delivered, this unique coaching insight is delivered via email every Sunday evening. It'll be waiting for you in your inbox when you go to work on Monday. And then every month we'll provide you with a webinar that focuses on a key concept of the kitchen table sales mastery curriculum. I'm going to give you the Cliff's Notes of some of the finest thinkers in the world. David Rock, neuroscience, he has a model called SCARF. This is engagement by the numbers. You can be likable no matter what if you just follow his roadmap. George Moscas, a professor that has developed what's called gerontographics. It's the most unique segmentation model available that has to do with the buying propensities of boomers and seniors. Cialdini on the persuasion and ethical influence. Prochaska on the stages of change. If you want to understand why a prospect isn't getting it, it's because they're at a particular stage of change that you haven't acknowledged, and therefore you haven't adjusted your dialect and your content to where they're at. I'll teach you how to figure that out. And then we'll look at the Johari window, one of the most common communication tools available, and apply that to selling. All of this is designed to help you close more deals. So the bottom line is that this isn't just an accumulation of random sales techniques. Instead, I've engineered a carefully assembled sequence of bite-sized tactics based on an overall strategy of emotional engagement with the prospect. The weekly dose is designed for actionable and consistent reinforcement of effective sales habits. So this is the template for each email that you'll receive every Sunday evening. It's structured in 3 parts. The key principle, this explains the what and the why of a particular sales tactic. The second part is the action, and we'll show you how and when a technique can or should be applied. And finally, the lesson provides a set of self-accountability questions that guide you through this self-paced learning for that particular week. I call it PAR. The PAR format works because it's concise, practical, and easy to understand and implement. Now, in my experience helping hundreds of successful sales professionals get in their zone, this 3-part coaching approach works. What's the cost? Well, as you can see on your screen, I've sold this program for as much as $19.97. In fact, I've delivered it in person for $4,500 in a single day. For the value it delivers, people have said that $9.97 is fair. Others have said that at $4.97 it would be a bargain. And I would just suggest that you can look at the market for training programs and you'll not see a comparable product for anything less than $500. But here's the deal. I've made the program scalable. I've figured out a way to deliver the same high-value training in a cost-effective way. But more important to me, I'm passionate about helping salespersons earn what they're worth. I am sick and tired of watching highly ethical, supremely competent salespersons fail at the kitchen table by trying to be somebody they're not, or to use antiquated approaches that fail the solution partner test. I want to give you the X factor to become a master at the kitchen table. Therefore, the investment is extremely modest. It's the price of a Starbucks latte a month. At $4.95, we can deliver a game-changing proposition. If you only gain one additional sale for even 10% of your total sales force, the ROI would easily be in the 1,000% range. Now, remember my opening ballerina slide? Here's the connection. What appears to be effortless is actually the byproduct of strenuous and perfect practice. There's an Italian word that describes this succinctly. The word is sprezzatura, and you see on the screen what it means. The appearance of effortless mastery. I want to offer you a shortcut to sprezzatura. Most who excel in sales make it look easy. For some, it's in their DNA. It's natural. For the rest of us, probably 90% of us, it has to be learned. Your choice is simple. You can wait until you're able to reap the benefit of your personal 10,000 hours, Or you can leap the curve and use my 10,000 hours as a benefit to you. Find someone like me who has synthesized and distilled the insight from science and experience, and then raise your sales game, all for $4.95 a month. You literally have nothing to lose, and here's why. If you're dissatisfied at any time, you can quit the program. There's no long-term contract. There's no annual anything. It's month by month. As well, if you say, Monty, I just don't think I got anything out of this, I'm happy to refund any investment that you made in the program because I believe you'll find value. If you feel this would benefit your sales organization, contact me as soon as possible. Call me on my toll-free line at 800-516-0545, 800-516-0545, or email me at monty@montyrose.com. I look forward to helping you find a shortcut to Sprezzatura.